I'm Jen.
I'm Craig.
And this is the Knot Project. And we are talking this week about your spouse's tells. So this past weekend we were off. So good to be back and talking with you guys. But we were off because it was Mother's Day and we were traveling, coming back from Houston, seeing Craig's parents. And that weekend was so good because Craig's mom is really sick. And so we were able to do a lot with them around their house and help out. We were able to just have fun and laugh and relax. And it was, even though it was hard because we were really sad that Craig's mom is really sick, it was also really joyful because we were able to give of ourselves and just enjoy that relationship that we have with them. So before we left, it's interesting because I think men are really good at compartmentalization. Wouldn't you say?
I think people are pretty good at compartmentalization.
I'm terrible.
I think it just depends on the person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I can say Craig is very good at compartmentalization. And so we've known about his mom's sickness. It'll be a year in August. And there have been times when he's been able to deal with that. And but then there are long periods of time where we haven't seen her, haven't talked with her as much as we would like to. And Craig gets involved in work and, busy with the family. So before we went to see them on Friday, I kind of gently tried to say, hey, we're going to see your mom. What are you thinking about? How are you handling this? And your response was typically what?
Like before we go?
Yeah, before we go.
Well, I mean, this particular trip, it was the weight of the emotional side of it was really weighing heavy on me.
But did you admit that before we left?
No, because I didn't understand it.
Right. So sometimes you, as a spouse, you can know that you're about to walk into a situation that your spouse is not really prepared for, and you can do the best you can by gently trying to lead them there, but you can't make them go. Like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, right? And then there's that country song, you can lead a heart to love, but you can't make it fall. Remember that one?
No, I
Anyway.
don't remember that one.
Okay, anyway. So the point was, then we got in the car to go on Friday, and Craig just had a major meltdown, which was shown in anger, right? He got really upset at me and the kids for something. We didn't really do anything. It was just his reaction, right? The children were hungry. That's what they did.
The response was definitely disproportionate to what was going on.
Right. And I knew what was motivating that, right? And so it launched me into my MO, which is caretaker mode. So it's my job to take care of him and make sure he's okay emotionally. It's my job to take care of my kids and make sure they're safe emotionally. It was so easy to just jump in and caretake of my in-laws, to do anything that I could to be helpful. And I'm so comfortable in that role. But I've learned enough from this point through counseling and just my relationship with Jesus and Craig. I can't sustain that role and ignore my feelings. And for so long in my life, I believed that there wasn't an emotional space for me. Like if other people had problems, their problems were more important, and I needed to help them deal with their stuff. And so I would just continually put my stuff on the back burner. And Craig knows that one of my tells is, how would you describe my tells when I'm dealing with something but I'm not expressing it?
Well, you're not as outwardly processy.
Yeah. It's hard for me to talk about anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I clean.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I call it nesting, but it's very similar. And we know she's not pregnant. So, yeah. But like whenever I come home and the house is clean or things have been rearranged, it's her way of trying to promote good emotional health, because these kind of things make her feel good. But for someone, I mean, we've known each other for over 20 years now, and being able to see kind of the progression of maturity in both of us, but also knowing that there's still certain things that we do when we're not feeling well, like emotionally or physically, that it's our own self-medication. Mm-hmm. And knowing that, so when I come home and the house has been rearranged and cleaned, and we hadn't really talked about it before, it's kind of like a surprise thing that's usually a sign. not necessarily a warning marker, but definitely a sign that says, hey,
Yeah.
something's probably going on. And you put that together with her change in emotional state, outwardly emotional state, then that's usually where I go, we should probably have a conversation about this. And then the final signal that it's probably what I thought it was originally is when I say, hey, let's talk about this, and she doesn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, yeah, and because I'm an external processor, I want to talk about things all the time.
Right.
When they really matter. And so, but this is the coolest thing, is that on Monday, Craig started asking me, hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on? And in the past, if I didn't tell him, he would either just dismiss it. Like, I mean, because hello, I should just own up, right, to my feelings and say this is what's going on instead of, but I didn't want to share because I wanted to make sure he was okay. And I felt like, well, if I share my sadness, then, maybe it will make him sad or whatever. The truth is, when you're married, you're going to be sad together about the same things, and you can comfort each other in your sadness, right? It's not my job to keep him safe from my emotions, right?
Well,
kind of. I don't know. In this instance, I don't need to protect him from my sadness. In this case, would you say that?
Yeah, I think that how you would explain it would be, it doesn't give you a license to completely,
we'll crap all over each other,
and
for sure.
vomit all over each other, right? But there's times when that is appropriate and is necessary in order for you to get past that and be able to dig in and figure out what's going on and talk about it.
Yeah, so I just really appreciated that Craig didn't dismiss my sadness. He didn't take the easy way out, and he didn't say, well, if you're not going to tell me, then it's on you.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't get angry because I was rearranging the furniture and not talking to him, or when I was withdrawing and allowing and being hurt, or taking things personally that I shouldn't have taken personally, or whatever. And so I guess what we're trying to say is, when you see your spouse hurting, and when you see that they're revealing to you in a kind of not a direct way, in an indirect way, that they're hurting, it's really important to have compassion and to continue to gently pursue them. And so that's what it was. So by Wednesday, right before we were supposed to do that Covenant Eyes Facebook Live interview, he was like, please tell me what's really going on. And I just that gentle pursuit of me kind of broke my heart, like, enough to, in a good way, like, okay, he really is for me. I can really trust him with my emotion. He validated the fact that I can and deserve to have emotional space in our relationship. And so it was just really a blessing. And so all of this to say is, don't take the easy way out. When your spouse is revealing to you, indirectly or directly, that there is an issue and that they're hurting, you can pursue them gently and with compassion. And remember, it's not your job to fix, but to help and to love them with that unconditional love that God has for us.
That's good.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You were good this week.
Thanks.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say?
No, it's good.
Okay.
I mean, encourage you guys to drop comments, ask questions. We really want to build up the community and start to keep the communication lines open between us and you guys and y'all and each other. So if you got any questions or thoughts or even prayer concerns, just throw them out there.
Yeah. And we'll see you guys next week, hopefully.
All right, bye.